Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at XRP over here on the small time frame and see exactly what it's been doing. So we can see here that we have been in Wyckoff accumulation over here. So we've currently been within this range for over 580 days. We see that this is your preliminary supply. Okay, this is your preliminary supply. So it's one last swing high before we enter into a selling climax. So this over here would be your selling climax. You then come up for an automatic rally, have one shot back down for your secondary test. After your secondary test, you go into extreme oversold territory. You then have what's called a failed breakout. Now this is your first failed breakout. Come down below your secondary test to make a new low, which would be considered your secondary test in phase B, right over here. Okay. After your secondary test in phase B, you then go into oversold territory again, which prompts the price back to the top of the range for your second failed break. So you see how we come after your secondary test in phase B, you come back up to the top of the range one more time. And then after you come to the top of the range, you get knocked back down to around mid-range, and you see how much chop that is happening over here. Within this chop, that's where retail traders get fed up, and they become unsure about their investment. They don't know where XRP is going to go. Okay, so after this chop comes in place, we kind of do a double bottom, chop around in here, confuse people, and then we have what's called a sign of strength. After your sign of strength, when your sign of strength comes in, that's pure euphoria. That's when all the retail pile in their money over here, and the composite operator takes the price back down to around the top of the range, down to mid-range for your backup phase. Okay, this is your backup phase. So you see over here that after you had your SOS, which is sign of strength, or in other words, your euphoria, you come down to the top, to mid to top range for your backup. Okay, so that's exactly what we did here. This over here was your extreme. Okay, and you can see that we came all the way back down to the came all the way back down to the 78.6% fib, or the 70.2% fib on the logarithmic scale. Now what we are in phase E. Okay, we're going into phase E. So right now you see how after your SOS phase, you have this backup phase, but within this backup phase, you chop around here, kind of making a wedge. And we see that exact same thing over here with XRP, right? Within this whole entire wedge, we've been accumulating within it for over 191 days. Okay, so that's 190 days just within this wedge before we enter into phase E, while we're also in this Wyckoff accumulation range for the totality of 580 days. Okay, so there is a ton of accumulation going on with XRP, but to the untrained eye, it may seem like this coin is garbage, but it's not. All it is just accumulation. Okay, so this is Wyckoff accumulation here. We're going to take a look at the different wave counts we can add on to this. So in this scenario, this would be an ABC correction. Okay, so you have a 3-wave move down, hitting the 702, a 3-wave move up, hitting the 702. Okay, you see how we came up to the 702 here? And now we're seeing a 5-wave move to the downside for your C wave, coming to around 48 to 45 cent. Okay, so this would be a 335 Elliott wave flat pattern. So there's this scenario right here, is if Bitcoin holds, then instead of it being a 335 Elliott wave flat pattern, it would actually be a WXY correction, in which your Y wave is already done, and then this over here would be an impulsive move to the upside. So this over here would be your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your leading diagonal for your wave 1, and then this over here would be your A, B, C, coming down to the 78.6% fib. Okay, you see how we perfectly wick down to the 78.6% fib there? So as long as Bitcoin holds, then we could say that this is a WXY correction. However, if Bitcoin rejects at any of the fibs above its current price, then it wouldn't surprise me that we have one little sweep down here to form a C wave within a flat pattern. Okay, so let me delete this over here, and this is what it would look like. Okay, so just one last sweep below this third wave over here. So think of how many stops are located right over here. Think of how many stops are right there. Okay, so I think if XRP were to come down now to finish up this correction, in my opinion, it would be the last shakeout before we blast off into phase E. Okay, which in other words is called the point of no return. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the XRP video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.